Buckle up and expect some volatility over the next 48 hours with Bitcoin because there's a big event happening on Wednesday. And honestly, it's kind of got me a little on the fence, right? Typically, when this event has happened in the past, crypto has taken a small dive. In this video, we're going to talk about what that event is, how you should prepare for it, and if I'm really worried about it. But before we get started, welcome back to the channel. My name's Doc. Throughout the day, I'm a resident physician, and at night, I take you guys on my crypto and investing journey. I respect your guys' time. We're hopping right into it. Okay, guys, Bitcoin, kind of a tough day. We're sitting at like 95,600, and it's kind of just been a downtrend over the past few days. Like I said, we're sitting right at 95,600. And again, we're kind of trending towards this red line, right? This red line, or this red rectangle rather, has been our area of support, right? And this is right around 90,000 to 91,000. We obviously have been bouncing off this. We've had a couple wicks down here and here, but we have gotten back above it pretty quick. Right now, we're looking for directionality between this yellow zone and this red zone. And unfortunately, right, we are not trending in the correct direction, right? And I think that's for a very, very particular reason. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. So right now, Bitcoin, it's slowly kind of dying down. Crypto feels boring right now. And Google Trends kind of shows us that, right? So in blue, we're looking at Bitcoin for a search term. And if you look, since November, right after the elections, it's just been going straight down. The same for the search term crypto. That's the one in red here. It's also kind of been downtrending, right? So that's why the crypto market might feel kind of boring right now, right? It might feel like there's not a lot of, euphoria. And I'm going to kind of tell you if I'm worried about this in just a few seconds. I was like this too, kind of looking at different regions for the breakdown. It seems like Bitcoin is more of like a Western culture type of thing versus folks like in Russia, they kind of prefer the term crypto. So kind of just an aside. So I think this explains why crypto feels boring. And guys, if you're getting any value out of this, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications to get more crypto related content pushed to you in the algorithm. We're going to talk about it next. Literally, my next tab is why we're going to have some volatility over the next few days. But the chart that we're looking at right here, this is the altcoin season index, right? And this index goes from 0 to 100. And typically we say we're not in altcoin season until this metric is above 75. And typically we want this metric to be above 75 for like a pretty durable time, right? We are nowhere close there, not even close at all. We're in like the low 40s, right? So we got a ways to go. We're definitely not in alt season. Okay, so why do I think there's going to be some volatility and some chop over the next few days? Well, I tweeted this out earlier. This is things that we want to watch for this week for Bitcoin and the S&P 500. And guys, it's this first one here. On Wednesday, the Fed and Jerome Powell, they are going to release their Fed meeting minutes. And sometimes this kind of spooks the market a little bit, right? People really go through these meeting minutes with a fine-tooth comb, and they're literally looking for changes of could just be like a few words. I am going to be going through the document myself. That's why you guys subscribe to me, because you don't got to go through the document. Let me go through it. I'll make a YouTube video, easy peasy. I'm going to be going through the document and seeing if they talk about anything about the Fed balance sheet, right? Because right now, the balance sheet, and instead of trusting me, let's look, right? Trust but verify. Right now, the Fed balance sheet is going down. We need the Fed balance sheet to start increasing, right? And I don't want to hammer this too much, right? We're in quantitative tightening right now. That's when the Fed is reducing its balance sheet, and that's bad because it kind of steals liquidity out of the crypto market. We want quantitative tightening to stop, right? That's where the line's flat, like we can see over here in 2017, right? So once quantitative tightening stops, I really think Bitcoin and the overall crypto market can really jump up. And I would even say, like, if we put this here, we can see once they stopped, Bitcoin kind of took off, right? So That's what I'm looking for. That's really what I'm going to be looking for in these meeting minutes. On Thursday, we have the initial jobless claims. This happens every week, but nonetheless, I am going to be watching it to see if there's any upticks in folks who don't have jobs. And then Friday, we have PMI and existing home sales. The real big one here, guys, is the FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. Keep a lookout for it. I'm going to make sure to get you guys clean info on that. Okay, here's why I'm not super concerned about this. This is a tweet by Seth Golden. He's a great follow. I'm actually going to hit the follow button because he's awesome. And I really like this picture because it shows us 6 metrics to look at if we're in a bubble. And guys, this is why it's so important to think about like if we're in a bubble or not. Because I'm sure you've seen everywhere on Twitter, people saying, is the bull run over? Is this it? Did Bitcoin top? Well, the metrics say no, right? The metrics say we've got a ways to go. So kind of this first metric is how high are prices relative to traditional measures? So yes, they kind of are higher than normal, right? And again, he's talking the traditional stock market, right? Seth is, but we can overlay this to crypto. So yes, the traditional stock market, the prices are high, but Bitcoin, we've had a little bit of a pullback, right? We just looked at this. We're in like the mid 90s, which is kind of high, right? But we're not at all-time highs. Okay, so then the next thing he says is, are prices discounting unsustainable conditions? He says no. Okay, how many new buyers do we have that have entered the market? This is kind of tough to quantify with crypto, but we're tracking it nonetheless. How broadly bullish is sentiment? Well, we're not bullish right now. We're actually very bearish. And then we say, are purchases being financed by high leverage? And he's saying no. Margin debt hasn't peaked for over 3 years, literally 3 years. And then the last metric is, have buyers made exceptionally extended forward purchases, right? Are they building inventory? Are they making forward purchases? Are they like getting things under contract to speculate or to protect themselves? Also no. So these right here kind of tell us like, yo, we are not in a bubble. I really like this chart too. This looks at the industrial production index, right? I'm sure you've heard of PPI, core PPI. Well, this is IPI, and this actually is increasing, right? So Seth, again, this is a tweet from Seth. He's saying the economy is not slowing down, right? The IPI went through consecutive monthly declines in late 2024, but we've had sharp rebounds in 2025, like big rebounds, right? So you guys might be asking yourself like, Doc, what the heck is the IPI or industrial production index? All it is, like, right, don't overcomplicate this. This is just an indicator that measures output from manufacturing, mining, electric, gas, things of that nature. So it's increasing, right? You can see we're going up. This means the economy is in good shape. All right, the other good thing that crypto has to look forward to is the dollar right now. It's downtrending, guys. It is in a downward movement. So that's good. We know that when the Dixie, right, the DXY, this is a metric to measure the dollar's strength. When this goes down, this is good for risk assets like Bitcoin, like the S&P, like the Russell. So this is good. I want to keep seeing the Dixie fall. We're at 106 right now. I'm actually looking for us to fall down below 105. And the reason that I'm looking for us to fall below 105, because this was an interesting area, right? It acted as support right through here. So if we fall, will the Dixie bounce off this line, or will it fall through? Obviously, we all hopes it falls through. We don't want it to bounce back up, right? So we're going to be watching the Dixie to kind of see what happens there. The other thing, this is really important too. And again, I'm just trying to simplify this, easy peasy terms. What we're looking at is the USDT dominance. Okay, so what this means in plain English is this is how high stable coins are, right? What percentage of the overall market is made up by USDT? And we're just saying USDT is a proxy for all stable coins. So right now, money is moving from alts to stables, right? And people do this when they want to take risk off, right? they're unsure of what's going to happen, right? And I'm sure you felt this on Twitter, maybe in Reddit, in your own Discord communities. There's kind of this uneasiness, what's going to happen with crypto. And because of that, the USDT dominance is increasing because people are transitioning to stables to kind of just see what happens, right? I'm not worried about this because we have Cynthia Loomis bull posting around the clock, right? So this was an Ivanka Trump news Twitter channel, right? This isn't even her like official, this isn't Ivanka Trump's official Twitter, but she's tweeting things like, do you support adding Bitcoin to the US Reserve? And Cynthia Loomis, yes, this is her legit official Twitter. She's saying like, yeah, sat for your thoughts. And she means like Satoshis, right? So she's bull posting around the clock for putting Bitcoin in the US Strategic Reserve. That is bullish, without question bullish. The other big thing that's bullish is Elon Musk is calling to audit the US gold reserves at Fort Knox, right? That gold is owned by the American people. We want to know if it's still there. And guess what? There's a lot of rumors, especially going on Twitter, that like that gold might not be there, okay? And if there's any discrepancies about what our treasury notes say we have and the actual gold that we have, if there's any like discrepancies, that could kind of weaken the case for gold. And it could be the reason for folks to say, hey, I'm going to switch to physical gold to the more efficient digital gold that is Bitcoin. This was a really, really interesting story too. I talk about this in a video that I'm going to publish tomorrow morning. I already filmed it, but this is wild. They made a Doge SEC, so Department of Government Efficiency for the SEC. Guys, this is a legit Twitter formed by the government. Elon was behind this. And look what they tweeted. Doge is seeking help from the public. Please DM this account with insights on finding and fixing waste, fraud, and abuse related to the SEC. Well, guys, guess who was ahead of the SEC just a couple months? Gary Gensler, right? And we all know that he was very, very anti-crypto. So here you have Dan talking about like how they went after Cardano, right? Dan's a big Cardano bull. Later in here, they're talking about, somewhere they talk here about Ripple and how the SEC just totally went after Ripple, GameStop. So this is actually wild, right? The tides have completely changed. We're now in a regulatory environment that favors crypto. We've never seen that before in the history of Bitcoin. Okay, the last thing I kind of want to talk about, end on, is, guys, tons of states are introducing Bitcoin strategic reserves. Utah and Arizona, they're kind of out in the forefront right now. And yeah, this is a pretty map. I like looking down here, right? This tells us what states, and let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys so you can see this better. What states have yet to introduce a bill? What states have introduced a bill but haven't voted on it? And then we have states that there's an actual vote in progress. And you can see right here, Utah's leading the pack. And not far behind is Arizona and Oklahoma. I really want to see Texas kind of jump out in the lead here. I am from Texas. I live in Texas. So I want to represent Bitcoin and us having a strategic reserve. So guys, this is me on YouTube. If you got any value out of this whatsoever, let me know. I genuinely read all of the comments. So let me know, like, are you worried about where Bitcoin's at right now? Do the FOMC minutes scare you? Like, do you think that's going to be good or bad for crypto? Let me know down below. Again, if you got any value out of this, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on noties. I'll see you guys in my next video.